In this video, we're going to go over the setup in Painter. First, I'm going to go to Maya. So here is my finished GameRes model, right? And what I'm going to do is duplicate everything and explode it out. So if you're not seeing any internals or back sides of assets, probably not too big of an issue, but this is typically how I have this set up. So you can see like in here, these inside faces would be really difficult to texture if you're using anything other than like generators and smart masks, which I don't typically use when I'm doing a hero asset that's going to be unique. So just take everything, duplicate it, and explode it out. And what I mean by that is I don't want any overlapping from the major views. So you can see from the front view, everything looks good. From the top view, again, everything looks good from this side, right? So that will allow me to go in with my stencils and just go in and paint and stuff like that. So I just select everything, do not merge them together, and just go ahead and export this selection as an FBX. So we're going to come over here and export. Okay, as an FBX, and we're good to go. And then we want to open Painter and import our model. In Substance Painter, this is what my setup looks like. I have my layers on the left, assets on the bottom, and then I stack these things. I think the default, these are each in a separate kind of column, a vertical stack. I don't think you'll ever be needing to be in two of these menus at the same time, so I just put them like this. Go over here to File, go New Project, and I do the default ASM, PBR, metallic roughness, and document size at 4K. And normal map format is DirectX. You can change this at any time. Being DX or OpenGL is whether or not your green channel is positive or negative. You can flip it if necessary. Everything here is going to be default. I typically don't bother adding my maps here, not an issue. Physical size, I use default, and color management at legacy. So again, now I'm going to click and load my mesh with the exploded copy and load it in. So here we go. You can see that both are in. Okay, let's cover the display settings and shader settings that I use. So if you come over here to the right, click on display. The default is ruled on the lighting information. So if you left click and go right to left, you can see that this is going to stay dark based on the HDRI and the world position. Go ahead and change out the camera so that way, based on position, you're seeing your lighting. That'll just be pretty helpful. I just keep this at the default HDRI. The next thing that I do is the tone mapping. If you have it on linear, that's going to look like this. To be a little bit softer, I change it to ACES, which is a contrast filter. It's basically like it's a lookup table. So things are going to pop a little bit more, and I just coordinate that same tone mapping either in Unreal or Marmoset. I also change anisotropic filtering to very high. And then the other thing I do is I change my stencil opacity to 0. I don't like seeing the stencil when I'm actually painting. I just want to see it when it's moving. Warning though, if you like using projections instead, if you have this set to 0, when you go into projection mode, you will not see anything, just to give you fair warning. Everything else is default. Let's go over to our shader. And under the shader, the only thing I change here is specularity to 256. Everything else is default. Now that you have your basic setup and it's like this, I set up the same way every time. Let's go and bake the rest of the maps. I'm gonna go up to the top and click on the crescent, and this is what yours is gonna look like when you start. Under common settings, I'm going to do output 4K so it matches the same texture resolution as what I baked out in Marmoset. And I don't need a normal map, I don't need an AO, and I don't need a curvature because those maps I've already provided and it's going to reference those. The only thing that I'm going to change is I'm going to go to the ID map and go to Mesh ID Polygroup and do random. And go ahead and hit bake selected. Let Painter do its thing. It'll take maybe 20-30 seconds. And as soon as it's done, we go ahead and hit return back to paint mode. If you come over here to your texture sets, you'll see that they have automatically updated and they're in the correct location. So yeah, that's my setup in Painter. Just a couple basics with the controls. Shift right click will move your lighting information. F1 will change to side-by-side view, which is 3D and UV space. I don't think I've ever used that. F2 is 3D, F3 is your UVs. Very rarely do I actually paint anything in 2D in Painter. It's only like if I have a stencil that is just problematic to put on in 3D, and it just makes more sense there. Okay, so those are those keys. And then the next thing you should be aware of is if you hit C, this is going to cycle through your viewport. We're not seeing anything because I don't have anything on here right now. But this is going to cycle through the maps. And then M is, go back to your material. So that's our setup in Painter. It's super straightforward, super easy, and I start it off the same way every time.